Welcome back. We are covering number 17 of 25 books to help your business grow. And again, the reason I'm doing this series is I wanted to get some books for some of my small business cohorts out there who are moving projects along or starting small businesses or starting YouTube channels. And it's always good to continue on with your self-improvement, and you should never stop learning. But before we get started today, I want to encourage you to click on the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you've been back multiple times, it's probably just easier to subscribe, and it also encourages me, and I appreciate it. And then also click the thumbs up, let me know that you like it. And also, if after you read this book or listen to these books, I'd love it if you gave some feedback or commented on it after you read it. So would love to discuss it in the comments below. And then also you have the option of clicking the alert button to be notified of future content. So we're covering number 17, Too Big to Fail, and it's by Andrew Ross Sorkin, and he's a morning commentator on CNBC. And I'm not a big fan of CNBC these days. I think that they're basically mouthpieces for the big financial services firms. And, I don't think that they really do well by the retail investors. I think it's always too late, the information they're covering. One of my big pet peeves with them right now is that while they're doing the Bitcoin show with cryptocurrency and really just kind of covering, especially with the Coinbase IPO, they're only covering Bitcoin and Ethereum. But there's other altcoins out there that are worth mentioning, and they're not covering the third and fourth cryptocurrency out there in terms of XRP also. For whatever reason, they're, with all the other, Bitcoin maxis and Ethereum maxis out there, they're only covering those two. So it is what it is, but it's another reason that I've just kind of strayed away from them. But that's not why we're here today. We're not here to listen to me gripe about CNBC. You have your own opinion. I'm sure there's people out here that love them. And but anyway, Andrew Ross Sorkin. Anyway, he's the reason that I went down that rabbit hole. But it is a very good book, though. If you have not read this book, it really goes into what happened, with all the big investment banks on Wall Street back in the 2007, 2008 financial collapse, where we almost fell off the fiscal cliff. And, it was a very, very scary time, actually. And it's such a good read, just in watching what happened to Bear, just all the politics behind the scenes. So he does do a great job with this book. And again, I think that it's, not only a great listen because of what happened then, but I think because of where we are now. I think there's going to be another financial crisis of an even greater magnitude that takes place here, just based on all the Federal Reserve printing of money. And it's not necessarily printing of money. I understand that how it works. They basically are allowing banks to create the money by lending. So, but again, it has the same effect on it right now. Right now, we're kind of in the in between deflationary and inflationary direction in terms of which way we're going to go, right? And basically since the start of the United States printing money, the last year we printed 40% of all money that's all currency. I shouldn't say money; it's all currency that's ever been printed. So, but this does a really good job, and gives some insight in terms of how the power players that were there, in terms of some of the conversations that were had. And I thought it to be very, very intriguing, and I still think it's very intriguing just based on where we are now and just kind of seeing some of those power players that came out of that situation. And again, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, those two run the show. At the end of the day, they run the show. This book really details that out. And then you have all the power players that come from Goldman that go into, these high level appointments. Gary Gensler just got confirmed by the Senate yesterday to head the SEC, and he's a Goldman guy. There's all kinds of Goldman guys. So that if you work at Goldman, you get some kind of appointment, or you kind of get the keys to the kingdom. So again, this book is really, really good. It gives you some good insight and gives you some, I think, good perspective as a small business owner in terms of how things kind of operate, right? I know that we all have dreams and aspirations that maybe one day you'll have and own a company, that goes public, or, merits that kind of attention and finances. But man, I'll tell you what, there's some sharks there, and I think this is a perfect example of that. So anyway, great read. I encourage you to read it or listen to it. I'll leave, as always, I'll leave a link to this. I'll leave it on Amazon, even though I'm not an Amazon fan, as I explained in my last video. because of how they're treating the small content providers on YouTube and other web content spaces. So, but anyway, I'll do that. But before we go, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert button, and we will talk to you at the next video.